Recubbed, a fanfiction by Lionkingview, based upon fan art by Credence Vita on DeviantArt. Chapter 1. Yet another adventure of the Lion Guard had come to an end. These giraffes seemed really happy about the new grazing grounds, said Kyan as he led his friends back to the guard's cave. You could say they won't be necking us about it anymore, said Bunga as he relished in the knowledge that Fuli would be annoyed at that joke any second now. Seriously, Bunga? Sighed the cheetah. Bunga chuckled in response. Kyan! Came a voice from the pathway leading down to the cave from the lion's den. It was Kyan's father, Simba, running towards the group with a smile on his face. Hey, Dad, said Kyan, waiting for his father to tell him what he wanted. Simba didn't make any signs of coming to a stop. Dad? Kyan got ready to dodge the seemingly unstoppable lion charging towards him. Simba, however, picked up speed, and before his son could even fathom what was about to happen, went in for a hug. Dad, do you have to do this, in front of my friends? Said Kyan sheepishly. Am I not allowed to hug my son? Asked Simba in a joking voice. I haven't seen you during the last 2 days, said Simba. Well, we've been busy, explained Kyan. Well, now you see why I would feel the need to give my little Kyan a hug, said Simba with a fatherly smile. Kyan could already hear some muffled snickering coming from the rest of the Lion Guard. It wasn't that Kyan was opposed to hugs, but he tried to have family hugs not happening in front of his friends, since that would unavoidably lead to a cutesy nickname being exposed. Kyan wasn't too keen on being known as Little Kiki, especially to his friends. Alright, Dad, could you let go now? Kyan asked, already trying to wiggle free. You're eager to get back to work. I understand. With eagerness like that, you'll make a good leader when you have your own tribe, remarked Simba as he let go of his son. Thanks, Dad, said Kyan as he readjusted his tuft of mane, which had gotten all ruffled up by his dad. Oh, and Kyan, Simba said just as he was about to go. Yes, Dad? Kyan responded. I'm very proud of you, Simba said. Thanks, Dad, repeated Kyan. Have some fun with your friends now, said Simba as he walked up Pride Rock. Once Simba was out of ear and eye shot, Fuli, Bunga, Ono and Beshte burst out laughing. Does little Kyan want a hug? Teased Fuli. Kyan blushed slightly. Yeah, I get it. My dad can be a bit overbearing, said Kyan defensively. Why is that, though? Asked Beshte with genuine interest. My mom explained to me it's got something to do with him having some issues from when his father, my grandfather Mufasa, died, answered Kyan. He gets nervous easily when someone close to him has been away for a bit longer than usual. It can make him really mad. There was even one time when I saw him cry because Kiara had wandered off. Once Kiara was back and safe in the den, he went to be alone in the cave nearby and wept. Kyan went on. Wow! He must have really been worried, said Beshte. I'm pretty sure he thought he was alone. He doesn't really cry in front of me and Kiara. I think he wants to give us a feeling of security. Kyan finished. Meanwhile, in the den. Nala, are you here? It's time to go to Rafiki for our annual checkup, said Simba as he searched in the den for his mate. Nala? Simba asked yet again. Without any warning, Nala shot out from the shadows and within a few seconds of struggle had Simba pinned on his back. Annual checkups are always preceded by an annual pinning, said Nala with a sly grin. In other words, Simba started. Pinja, finished Nala and gave Simba a playful lick on his left cheek. I guess there is no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes, sighed Simba as Nala got up again. Precisely, said Nala. Let's go. The faster we get to Rafiki's tree, the faster we're done, said Nala as she quickly exited the den. Once the royal couple had arrived at the tree, they started to look for the mandrill. Rafiki, Simba yelled up the tree, but no answer was given. Do you think he'll mind us waiting in the upper regions? Asked Simba, not really waiting for an answer, but rather going through the notions. Why are you even asking? You're already climbing up, answered Nala dryly as she followed suit. Did Kyan tell you he was going to be gone for 2 days? Asked Simba, trying to hide the worry in his voice. Is he? Well, if he planned to do it, he didn't tell me, but then again he's getting older and some Lion Guard business requires more attention, reasoned Nala. I know, it's just that he didn't tell me 2 days ago. It's not like I was worried or anything. I just would have liked to know where he and his friends went, Simba said. Simba, Nala started, looking at him calmly in the eyes. We've been over this, so let's repeat that mantra one more time, said Nala and took a deep breath. I can't be everywhere at once, she started. I can't be everywhere at once, Simba repeated. And my children will be fine, Nala went on. And my children will be fine, repeated Simba. I'm not a bad mother for only knowing where my children are 95% of the time, Nala said. Without really thinking about the words, Simba repeated them blindly. I'm not a bad mother for only knowing where my children are 95% of the time. Nala chuckled. You know, I know you didn't do it on purpose, but you do have some deep maternal instincts. Simba was confused. What do you mean? He asked. You said mother instead of father. I believe you could also make a good mother, snickered Nala. Simba blushed slightly. Oof. Whoops. I'm really glad you can keep a cool head in situations like these, remarked Simba. I'm worried too, but I've learned to trust my intuition and my children's abilities to take care of themselves. I know you will always have extra baggage from your childhood, but so do I. My baggage taught me to be strong in situations of complete and utter hopelessness, to not show weakness, but in the end, I'm just as frail as you, Nala finished. You're always alert, I really got to give you that, said Simba, looking playfully at his mate. Then Simba pounced at her, thinking he caught her unaware of his intentions. Yet again he was surprised by his mate's swiftness, as she took him on and promptly pinned him down. You said I'm always alert and followed it up by underestimating my alertness? Asked Nala with a look of bemusement. But before Simba could say anything, Nala's lips were on his, and after an intense kiss that lasted for about 30 seconds, Simba managed to change positions. Now he was on top of her. Someone's in the heat, he stated with excitement in his voice. Not really, it was more of the heat of the moment and, the environment. It's exciting to do it in Rafiki's tree, responded Nala. What if he catches us, though? Asked Simba, knowing full well that this aspect would magnify the excitement of the situation even further. Nala didn't answer and went in for a lick on Simba's neck. Then she started to roll around trying to get on top of Simba again. A foreplay that they normally could go through without much trouble on the ground or in a cave. Here in Rafiki's tree, however, it seemed to not be quite as safe or harmless. This was shown in the many powder and liquid-filled containers made out of animal or plant shells, which were tumbled over or loosened from their holdings. Within a few seconds, both Nala and Simba were covered in these substances. The lovemaking had to be postponed due to how itchy some of the powder was, not to mention how irritating it was for the eyes and nose. What on earth have you two been doing up here? Asked a furious Rafiki when he arrived just a few minutes later. Simba started, but Rafiki interrupted him immediately. You know what? I don't even want to know. Your medical checkup will be rescheduled until I've taken care of this mess. Now scram before I get really angry, said the furious Mandrill. Simba and Nala did as they were told. Once they had gained some distance to Rafiki's tree, they burst out laughing. Oh my, guess we should have turned it down a notch, said Simba, gasping for air. I would feel bad if it wasn't so damn funny, said Nala. I'm pretty sure he knows exactly what we were about to do, added Simba. Yes, said Nala, we were interrupted by Rafiki's collection. Weren't we? Said Nala seductively. Mind picking up from where we left? She asked. I don't know, perhaps some lioness will have a way with me. Perhaps not. Simba teased further. Nala didn't have to be asked twice before Simba knew it. She was once again on top of him. Which is where we will leave them for now. Privacy shall be granted to the lovers since it isn't that kind of a story you're listening to. Instead, we shall vacate this story for a few hours until the next noteworthy event unfolds. A few hours later, Kion and his friends were once again patrolling the Pride Lands. And that's where the word boring comes from, finished Ono, floating a few feet above the group. Interesting, responded Kion. I know, and I don't think I've seen those cubs before, said Ono as he glanced into the distance. What cubs? Asked Fuli. Up ahead, they're lying under a baobab tree. explained Ono. You're sure you haven't seen them before? Asked Kion. My eyes know who they know, and I don't know these two, answered Ono. Alright, let's find out who they are, Kion ordered. To the Pride Land's end, he started. Lion guard defend, finished the other four. A few seconds later, Kion, Fuli, Beshti, Ono and Bunga arrived at the tree. Sure enough, there lay two cubs, snoozing in the tree's shade. Kion nudged one of them slightly. The cub just groaned quietly and kept sleeping. Kion cleared his throat. This time, one of the cubs opened its eyes. Hi, can I help you? Asked the cub, still somewhat sleepy. Well, not to be rude, but we haven't seen you in the Pride Lands before. If you're from another tribe, that's okay, we just want to know who you are, explained Kion. What do you mean? We've always been in the Pride Lands, responded the cub. Okay, not to worry. Just tell us your name, and I'm sure we can sort this out, said Kion, keeping his usual friendly demeanor. My name is Nala. Who are you anyway? The cub answered. That's an interesting name, remarked Kion. How so? Asked the cub. Well, it's just that, Kion started. That's the name of the queen, finished Ono. The queen? Her name is Sarabi, not Nala. Nala is my name, argued the cub. Kion was lost for words. Did you just say the queen was Sarabi? Asked Ono. Of course, answered the cub. The other cubs started to wake up too. What's going on, Nala? Who are they? Asked the other cub. No idea. They say I'm the queen or something, said the first cub. Yeah, and I'm already king, chuckled the other cub. Would you please excuse us for a second? Asked Kion as he redirected the other guard members to the side. Alright, said the other cub while motioning to his friend that these other ones must be cray-cray. Fuli, could you quickly race over to Pride Rock and look for my father? Ask him if any tribes are visiting, just on an off chance. Also, could you ask Zazu to come here, but only if you can't find my father or mother. I have a suspicion, but it's just too odd to really consider, ordered Kion. Alright, we'll be right back. Huazi! With those words, Fuli was off. Kion turned back to the other two cubs. So, Nala and... Kion started, keeping the end of the sentence open for the other cub to fill in. Simba, Prince of the Pride Lands, answered the cub with certainty. Nala and Simba, what is the last thing you two remember? Asked Kion. Bunga whispered to Kion. Wait, do you really think they are, entertaining the idea for a while won't hurt? Kion whispered back. Well, we were playing tag and got tired, so we took a nap, said the cub who called himself Simba. Correction, you got tired, told me you wanted to take a little nappy, teased the other cub who called herself Nala. It wasn't a little nappy, roared Simba and pounced at Nala. After a short wrestle, Nala came out on top. Pinja, she declared victoriously. A scream of terror could be heard from the sky. Just a few seconds later, the source of this scream landed in front of Kion. Zazu looked at Kion with irritation after he had landed. Kion, please tell me your father convinced some of your friends to play a very nasty prank on me, demanded the Hornbill. Why would you think that? Asked Kion. Because these two cubs look and behave exactly like your dear mother and father did as cubs, explained Zazu. Then I think I have some bad news for you. Actually, for you and me, and now that I think about, for the two cubs too, said Kion. What would that be, Kion? Asked the Hornbill. These two are my parents, concluded Kion with an uncertain expression. End of chapter 1.